Hello, Sue Johnson here, your host of Wake Up and Live with the Arts. I am happy here to be featuring our guest, Don Michaels, who is a YouTube host himself, and he is known for his Rant and Rave with Don Michaels YouTube show. So welcome, Don, and we're just now meeting each other for the first time.
Yes.
So please be happy you're here and watch all this chaos going on. Okay.
Absolutely, I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, darling. And in theater we hug.
Oh, in theater we hug? Okay.
Yes.
All
and
right.
I'm from theater, much less from the video world.
Okay.
And I'm in the video world thanks to Lester Bryan and James McGilvray. And you're familiar with video because you were just saying off camera that you shoot your entire rant and rave with Don Michaels by yourself, camera, sound, editing, and all.
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us how that's going.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's much more peaceful when you work alone. Actually it works out very well. Because I'm able to control the entire set, control the equipment, control everything about the shoot. So that way, there's no bickering back and forth of this angle or that angle or what have you. This is the way we're going to do it, and that's that. So actually, it works out pretty good. I'm still getting a little bit better with editing and so forth. There's a little flaws here and there, but you work through those issues as you go.
Now, Don, you have a YouTube show called Rant and Rave. Would you please share with us, what is that show about?
Well, the whole idea, Sue, behind the show was to actually get out and get to know the average person. Need it be the doctor, need it be the car salesman, the kung fu specialist, the boxing instructor, the school teacher, different things like that. I mean, we're all familiar with, the big movie stars and the local celebrities and what have you, but none of us really know who the guy behind the scenes is.
Right.
So my whole thought and idea of creating the show was to get out there and meet those people and let other people know who and what they are and what they do and how challenging it can be and so forth. So that was the whole idea behind the Rant Rave with Don Michaels.
And so these are everyday people doing everyday things who might otherwise go unnoticed as they, quote, ply their trades, live their lives.
Correct, yes ma'am.
And so what does the title of your show refer to, Rant and Rave with Don Michaels?
It was just kind of a catchy phrase. People are always ranting and raving, like they have a hot topic and they're ranting about it and the other guy's raving about it. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of a catchy phrase to put together. In the future, the name may change, but for right now, it's moving along very well. So we're going to stick with it.
How long have you been doing your show? When did you start?
Rant Rave with Don Michaels has been going for about a year now. We have 30, 40 videos with several more actually being edited and worked on now. And I have about 10 more lined up right now to get scheduled and get in there and actually shoot the film. I don't want to tell you who they are because,
I know, but these are local,
they'll be local, everyday people involved in different trades. I can share one with you. I'll be doing one with a wrestling coach, youth wrestling coach. He'll be coming on talking about his program, how he trains the children, how important it is, why it's important for children to be involved in sports, especially such as grappling and what have you. So that's one of them that'll be coming up soon. But so yeah.
And like our show is all about featuring mostly local talent, though occasionally we showcase national talent who might be in town. But here again, the idea is to give our local talent exposure so that maybe a producer, a director, a casting director, or someone like our previous guest, Stefan J. Davis, may see them and be impressed. So our show celebrates and showcases the diversity of the performing arts, primarily in Greater Cleveland, Northeast Ohio. But again, as I said, occasionally we get a national person on our show. to feature and showcase the work they're doing.
Right.
Now,
maybe I'll be national before long, Sue.
and then we'll have you back on the show.
And then we'll be back on.
Is your plan to kind of stay in the Cleveland area and branch out, or go to another city, or?
I was born and raised in Cleveland. I love Cleveland. Go Cavs, go Indians. So absolutely.
What about the Browns?
Browns have a lot of work to do.
Well, let's hope next year the Indians and the Cavaliers can keep the momentum going. That would be super.
Absolutely.
Now, are any of them planned for your show and upcoming features at all?
Not currently, but I do have one big name that I'm real close to getting onto the show. But
okay.
I can't say right now.
Well, that's fine. Just let us know when the time comes.
Sure.
And tell our audience now, how can people see your YouTube videos?
Well, there's several different ways you can find the show. You can find us on Facebook at Rant Rave with Don Michaels. You can also find us on Twitter at Rant Rave with Don Michaels. And you can also find us on YouTube with Rant Rave with Don Michaels. If you needed to personally contact me or wanted to contact me, you can do through any of those sites. Or you can reach me directly at my number 216-333-9593. Bear with me, it takes me a while to get back to people sometimes. The phone's always ringing. But yeah, that's right now. I'm in the process of putting together a website, but technically there's already 3 there, so I don't even know if it's necessary to actually have another website.
Well, nowadays, Facebook and Snapchat and all those social media seem to be the primary source for contact.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Oy vey. Oh, I'm only 852 years old. When did you get the idea to begin your own YouTube show?
Well, to be honest with you, I started another show. It was a little on the political. It was in the political arena. And as you know, as everyone knows, politics can be a very touchy subject with everybody.
Sure.
So that's how it all started. I had another partner, a co-host that was doing it with me, and we started off doing that, and it was pretty successful. I mean, the cameras, the budgeting, there was no budget, it was just in front of a computer, and we were just ranting and raving. It was called Real America Rants and Raves.
Yes.
And I decided I wanted to go more professional, and I hooked up with some local talent here with editing and so forth, and we started Rant Rave with Don Michaels.
I see.
And it's been going good. And
for about a year.
For about a year, yes. We're hoping to take off this year. I keep saying the word, but I'm hoping to take off this year.
Well, politically correct is we.
Right.
Because I try to say we as opposed to I on a lot of my, emails and Facebook and what have you, to show that we're kind of a team effort. Yeah. Now, do you have any major plans for your future with the show? Where do you see yourself going?
Honestly, I'm just starting to get into all the promotions and marketing of it. So I'm starting to get it out there a little bit more. I actually want to grow here in Cleveland. I want every household to know who Don Michaels is in the Cleveland area.
Okay.
In Northeastern Ohio. And as the budget allows, I'm going to continue to keep marketing it and going forward from there. I'm also working with some local filmmakers here, such as Stefan, that I want to get involved in some short films.
Okay.
Actually doing the acting and so forth like that.
Well, that would be super fantastic.
Yes, that's pretty exciting.
And then to add to your repertoire, perhaps you can feature, some of the artists around town, actors, other performing artists, musicians, dancers, you name it.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, our first few shows, we actually did interview local talent here. Actors, Brian Bowers of the 40-Hour Film Festival.
Sure.
Numerous different, a couple guys from Johnny Wu's team.
Oh, sure, Johnny Wu. He's been around for a long minute.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had a few of his guys on the show. We were talking about, what they do, how they do it, and so forth. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. And again, that's the whole concept. I mean, just getting out there, knowing, bringing us together as a community.
Now, does your YouTube show qualify for any kind of festivals for you to submit to at all at this point?
To be honest with you, I've never looked into it, so I'm not sure. But that's a good thought.
Okay, well, I have no clue either. Stefan is in the background, so maybe he would have an idea about whether or not your show qualifies for festivals, which means I should be thinking, should our show, consider film festivals or video festivals or whatever the heck they're called,
Right.
So, how did you get into this? Are you employed otherwise? What background do you come from?
Well, it all started in front of the computer.
Uh-huh.
I like to be on film. And I was doing actually karaoke on the computer, making it fun, just doing different things from rap music to country music to something in between.
Sure.
And then I just kept doing it and people were contacting me all over saying, that's so cool, keep doing it, So I just started, we just kept progressing until where we're at now. But, it's not going to stop there. Like I said, I want to get into the short films. I got to get a little bit better shape. So you think you take off my shirt when I'm out there right now. but no, I want to get into, the whole the small short filmmaking, and just bring some really good local fun talent and just have fun,
Okay. Now, do you consider writing your own material, or do you import it from other sources?
Finding a local writer that's willing to do pro bono is very difficult, or at least it has been for me.
Oh, it's difficult.
Yes.
Anything pro bono is difficult.
Yes. I reached out to several people. I had some people interested. They weren't. I decided I'm just going to do all my own writing and so forth, especially for the short films. Like my kids and I are working on a short film.
Okay.
It's going to be our first one, but
well, keep us
it'll
posted.
be comical, if anything.
Yeah. Well, if you're in it, are you going to star in it?
I'm going to star in it.
Then yes, I'm sure it will be.
Thank you.
Now, you mentioned something a moment ago, which is fascinating to our audience. You were saying contingent on your budget, you would develop more, expand more, etc. How do you raise your budget, acquire your budget?
Well, currently it's all out of pocket. It's through, I work, I use my money from there, and as I can, I put into new equipment or marketing and so forth. Once I get a few more really good shows under my belt, I'm going to reach out for advertisers.
Oh,
people
okay.
to start advertising on the show. Again, local companies, the body shop or the mechanic shop or the tire company down the street,
Right.
just a little bit, just to bring in that extra revenue. So that is coming for sure.
We're still working on the same thing for our show as well.
Okay.
So what kind of work did you do?
Well, I am an exterminator.
You exterminate things.
Yes.
One of the shows I tend to watch in the morning when I'm home and getting dressed is a god-awful show on TLC called Hoarding, Buried Alive. And some of the things you see on that show are unbelievable. How people live that way.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beyond amazing. It's unfathomable.
It is.
Because they have critters in the house. They have, do you do bugs and critters?
Mice and insects.
Okay.
We don't get into the raccoons or anything like that. That actually falls under a different licensing.
Okay. Oh, really?
Yes. Pest control is insects, and then you have the wildlife, which is rabbits or raccoons or squirrels or what have you. but we do deal with mice.
Okay, little tiny critters, and some of them turn into rats on this show that I watch. Well, I applaud you for the work you do,
Well, thank
and
you.
I'm glad that it helps give you money to invest in, your Rant and Rave with Don Michael show. And give us that YouTube address again so that folks can take a look at some of your videos.
Okay. You can find the show on YouTube at Rant and Rave with Don Michaels. You can find us on Twitter with Rant Rave with Don Michaels, and you can find us on Facebook at Rant Rave with Don Michaels. And don't forget to like the page, guys.
Oh, that's important?
That's important. The more likes you have, the more clout you have.
We got to start signing up for likes for our show. I didn't know that. I want to thank you so much, darling. It's been fun meeting you, and I'm sure I will see you again.
Absolutely.
And our team here, Lester and James. And I wish you, like we wish Stefan, who was an earlier guest, so much wonderful success and luck in the work that you're doing. So keep us posted.
Sure will.
So that we can have you back on the show when your projects have developed to the point where they're ready to be showcased.
Actually, Sue, I have an idea that maybe you should be on my show.
Oh.
And maybe we can get Stefan on the show as well.
That would be super fantastic.
Kind of
Would
work it
be
together
delighted.
and open ourselves up to each other's audiences.
Wonderful. Okay.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you. All right. My delight in meeting you, darling.
My pleasure.
He shakes hands. When we're off camera, I'll get him to hug me. Okay, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in to this edition of Wake Up and Live with the Arts. I'm Sue Johnson on behalf of James McGilvray, who tonight seems to be the lead videographer, and Lester H. Bryant Sr. Thanks for watching.